What's up, YouTube? So today's topic, I'm gonna talk about just how corrupt people could be, and how evil and sick people could be, and the types of people I had to deal with growing up in my life, and I still am facing today. Right? If my eyes seem red or seems watery, excuse me because I'm not crying or anything. It's just that my eyes tend to burn a lot because I wear contact lenses and I wear them for long periods of time. So like this is why my eye tends to get like itchy or watery or red like during especially late night. You know, I hate it. I have poor genes. Unfortunately, I wear contacts. I am planning on getting like eye surgery, which is cool. But it sucks. I wish I have like proper eyesight. I used to wear glasses, so like it kind of sucks. So I hate this is one of the reasons why I hate the human body, because the human body is so weak. Because like some people they're born blind, some people are born like deaf, they can't hear. Some people are born like body dysfunctions or like malfunctions. Some people were born with like high blood pressure. It's just there's so much dysfunctions when it comes to the human body. This is why on my previous videos I always mention I feel like the human body is such a bastard creation. It's such a horrible creation because the human body is so fragile, especially when you get older too. The human body gets weaker, then you get more wrinkly, and then you can't move around, and then you have to rely on people to like shower, eat, piss, use a bathroom. It's just awful to get dressed. The human body is not it. I wish it was a lot stronger, but no. Even when you lose an arm or a leg, you can't form that back. Some entities could do that. Some beings could do that. I forgot what their names are, but like, yeah, it sucks when you lose an arm, leg, you can't get it back. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's so easy for the human body to develop mental trauma, mental illness. Um, this is why a lot of people act crazy and they act the way they are because, well, one, because of this world, this corrupt system, based on what I've learned. A lot of spiritual warfare because we have no spiritual protection like that, and so easy for the human body to develop trauma and to have like a nervous systems irregulations and stuff like that because the human body is so fragile, in my opinion. So it's like it is what it is. But let's get to it. So um, where was I? So okay, yeah. So let's get to it. Yeah. So I'm gonna talk about the corruptions and like how manipulative people could be and how evil people could be and how evil this world is. I will talk about my experiences here and there, but let's get to it. So it's crazy. Growing up, I've been and when I'm talking about stuff like this, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I've done things where I've regretted. There are times where I've done things that were questionable, but the main importance is the fact that if you do someone wrong, or if you done wrong things that you regretted, there's no there. As long as you're aware and you're trying to improve and self-reflect, as long as you're trying to become a better person and learn from these situations and mistakes, knowing that like it's not right to do those things, if you know the importance of treating people how you want to be treated, then you're good. At the end of the day, you're good. Learn from these situations. Don't be hard on yourself. Overcome these situations so you don't do it again. And like if you're constantly figuring out your triggers, what caused you to do this, your shadow side, and you're very mindful on how you like treat people, then in my opinion, you're doing the right thing and you're doing a good thing. In that case, you shouldn't really like trip about it pretty much. You know what I'm saying? But let's get to it. So again, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm an angel. There are still things I'm still trying to work on. There are times where I've done things I regret. So when I'm talking like bad things about what people have done to me, I'm not saying I'm perfect. But let's get to it. So, I know it's a long intro. I'm sorry. I need to get to the point. but yes. So growing up, and I still am facing today. I've dealt with people who use me for money, people who would take advantage of me because I seem nice, or they want to take advantage of my kindness. People like they think it's okay to project their trauma, their insecurities, all this shit that's going on with them. They think it's cool to project that shit towards me. I've dealt with a lot of people who do shit like this, like family members. This is why I cut off a lot of family members. I cut all of my family members off because all of them, or like most of them, they'll project their pain, they'll project their insecurities, and all the things that they are. They'll throw that shit and assume or project that that's what I am, and it took me a long time to realize that. And also like it's quite obvious now because the more aware you are, the more healing you're doing, the more self-reflecting you're doing, you can see if people are projecting their bullshit towards you or not, because you have more awareness and you have the gift of discernment. You're more in touch with your intuition, and you could read energy and just shit. It gets deep. So like there are times where I'll come across a lot of family members and they'll project all of their bullshit towards me and shit. You know what I'm saying? And like, there's where you get your black sheeps of the family or like your family scapegoats, because a lot of scapegoats, a lot of family fights and domestic violence, especially dysfunctional families, they do this shit a lot. They'll project all their bullshit onto the family black sheep or the scapegoat. The scapegoat is meaning like we have one family member, right? And then you have multiple family members who will gang up on that one person and they'll talk shit to them. It's just awful. It's demonic. It's very evil. It's very sinister. In my opinion, it should be a crime. But shit like this always happens. Like a lot of people, you'll be surprised. A lot of people experience family fights, family dysfunctions, domestic violence. And no, I'm not saying, oh, each and every family's gotta be perfect or they gotta be loving life. No, but what I am saying is it's not right for families to constantly talk down, to lie, and to gang up on one person or multiple people. And it's not right for them to project all their pain onto them. Some people commit suicide. Some people attempted suicide. Some people develop trauma and like low self-esteem all throughout their lives because they have to deal with shit like this. And it's sad because like some people, they don't have the information, they don't have the knowledge or wisdom on how to pick themselves up. Me, I was fortunate enough to learn about spirituality. I was fortunate enough to be in touch with my intuition. I was fortunate enough to know who the fuck I am because at first I was so confused. I don't know what's going on. I was like, there were times where like I was stuck in my family's household because I couldn't get away from them. Like there were times where like I just stay in my room pretty much every day. Whenever I come back from the house, obviously I'll go outside to like do my hobbies, to to do what I love doing, or if I'm working. But whenever I come back inside the house, I'll just stay inside my room all day. The only time I come out the house when I'm eating, or when I'm grabbing something to eat, pretty much. But other than that, like I growing up, like looking back, I never really fucked I never like fucked my family members like that. Like I never really messed with them or hang with them like that. Even we were on good terms, and even we were on good terms, it was like they'll mistreat me, and then like I'll push it to the side, and of course they don't take accountability, so they'll push it to the side, and they act like, oh, nothing happened. I wasn't in a position where like they'll do some bullshit towards me, and like I'm forced to put it to the side or not mention it. Right? It's fucked up. But and then we'll have family gatherings, and even when we have family gatherings or holidays, I look back and I remember like I didn't want to be around them. Like I have arguments with my mother that I don't want to be around certain family members. I don't want to be around any of them. Like I feel so uncomfortable with like family gatherings and stuff. Like how we're all families got to sit at the table for like Thanksgiving or like Christmas, and like I always feel so uncomfortable. I always feel so like just awkward and different because of all the things they've done to me, and they never apologize or acknowledge it, and two, I just felt so different. Like even my diet, like, and no, I'm not saying there's no right or wrong diet, but me, like I was vegan and vegetarian, they all eat meat, so it's just stuff like that. There's a lot of differences, and I'm not saying diet plays a huge role, but what I am saying is that like there's a lot of differences between me and my family, like just how our mindset is. I never fucking liked them, especially like the things they put me through, and they never apologize, and now I'm forced to be around them. Like looking back, I don't know how I was tolerating that shit. I think I do know why, because I had nowhere to go. Like I couldn't get out of my house situation. I couldn't leave the house because I was stuck financially, and this is where I'm getting at. Like there are times where I mentioned in my past videos, like this world is so evil because of the money restrictions. For example, if you come from a dysfunctional family, or even in an abusive relationship, a lot of people get stuck in these cycles because one, they can't get out of their situations due to finances, due to money. You can't, like I said in my previous videos, you can't drive a car without money. You can't buy a car without money. You can't travel around the world. You can't meet different types of people. You can't have your own house, or you can't move out without money. Without money, you're in the mercy of this world, of this universe. Unfortunately, this is how the universe, God, or whoever you believe in created this world to be. Or even they didn't create it. Just the fact that they allowed this shit to happen, it shows how fucked up they are, or how much they don't give a shit. This is why when people talk about, oh, you're spiritually protected, or like, oh, there's hope, this and that, it's bullshit, because look at all this shit that goes on. Look at all this shit people had to go through. You know what I'm saying? This is fucked up. It is where you get your soul contracts from, your karmic soul ties, your karmic energies, your generational curses. All that shit comes to play. And this is why the human experience, in my opinion, is so risky, because it's so easy to build karma. It's so easy to like be put into like a generational curses, to be put into a very dysfunctional family. Some babies like they haven't asked to be abused, but growing up they get all abused and shit like that, and it's fucking awful. How you supposed to defend that? Even like I don't care what age you are. If you grew up in a dysfunctional family, it's not your fault. You're a victim because it's like you have no knowledge, you're confused, you didn't know why they act the way they act. You're not sure if you're going crazy, and this is where people experience spiritual warfare. Because me, I didn't know anything about spiritual warfare until recently, until I subscribed to a couple of YouTubers, and they're talking about spiritual warfare, the signs they're experiencing spiritual warfare, this and that. And I was like, whoa, and all this shit, it makes sense. Some people don't believe in spiritual warfare. Me personally, I believe in spiritual warfare because, and it could be, you know what I'm saying, just like just the attacks, and then so yeah, so I experienced all this shit, and like damn man, like looking back, I'm just so thankful. Like I'm away from them, I have my own place, and like I don't gotta deal with them. Like I'm grown, I'm 25, 26, I don't have to deal with them, and I'm not obligated to deal with them at all. If they're not able to grow, take accountability, realize what they're doing, then but yeah, I'm willing to do those things. Why should I be around them? I shouldn't. You know, blood is not thicker than water. Water, that's bullshit. You know, it's still gonna hurt. You're still gonna feel pain because I've heard from a YouTuber. She mentioned that like you, when you cut ties with your family, you actually still have spiritual soul ties. Not spiritual soul ties, but like, you still have that energetic connection with your family. So it's kind of hard to cut them off, and it makes sense because you've been around them your whole life pretty much. So, and this video is for people who are born into dysfunctional families. If you're born into like a very loving family or like supportive family, or like at least a family where like there's no as much conflicts or fights like that, then 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 that's a good thing, you know what I'm saying? And keep these connections and cherish those connections. But if you're dealing with like family members, if they're giving you a hard time, you're not obligated to be around them. Like it could be anyone. It could be anyone. Like this video is more so like who's ever giving you shit and making you feel like shit. It's okay to cut them off. Like you're not alone. It's okay. Don't feel guilty. Yes, you're gonna feel these emotions, but just know that it's natural. It's natural to feel guilty because you have a good heart, and these people are attacking you for a reason because they know you have a good heart, and they're in denial. And these people are damaged, so their hearts are not good. So they're gonna project that shit towards a person who has a good heart, right? It's how it is. It's a cycle too. I realize in life where like this is why like all people who are trying to do the right things in life, they tend to get spiritual attacks from different entities we can't see, and then from different people. It's insane, and this is why a lot of people are turning cold hearted. They turn bitter. They turn very evil, and they turn narcissistic. Just like the people that cause them harm because growing up they didn't expect that. It caught them off guard. They don't know why they had. It's just sad. It's fucked up. This world is so like it's so dark. We live in a very dark realm. And I understand there are good sides too and there's bad sides. It's a duality thing, you know what I'm saying? And it's all about your focus, you know what I'm saying? But it's just some people say it deals with like soul contracts, like your karmic soul ties, or like past life karmic energies and shit like that. I've heard theories where like if you this something bad in the past life, then you have to pay that karma back, and this lifetime, this is why you experience a lot of abuse. And it's a lot of different shit, but I do believe that to a certain extent, but I also believe that like sometimes as human beings we are victims. We are put into unfortunate situations where like we're born into like people who would fuck us over, or like we're put into situations where we experience a lot of spiritual attacks, spiritual warfare. We're born into people that aren't good for us. We're around people that aren't good for us growing up. So you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people experience this, you know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. And it's for growth purposes from a spiritual aspect, but it's still fucked up, you know. But because some people they commit suicides or like they develop a lot of trauma because of that shit. But yeah, I feel like it's this timeline we're in, and in this timeline, like this timeline is so dark. I mean, there are pros and cons to this timeline. I feel like I don't know, like me, like I can't explain it. Like I'm not saying I'm right, but like I can see through the bullshit of this timeline. This is why, like, I always say, take life seriously, but don't take life personally. All this is bullshit, pretty much. We're being, like, think about it. We're being controlled by money. Life is short. We experience spiritual warfare, but yet we have no spiritual protection as much. A lot of people are mentally ill. You can't do anything without money, so it's like all this is bullshit, pretty much, right? So you know what I'm saying? But where was I? But one of the good things that like we have technology and information, so like we have access to the internet. If you have access to a computer, a laptop, a smartphone, that's a huge blessing because you can learn so much information. I mean, I love the internet so much. Sometimes I feel like it's too good to be true, or like I'm in denial. It's how blessed we are because like we have access to the computer, to a laptop, to the internet. You know how valuable that is? You can learn so much. You can learn how to drive a car. You can learn how to cut your own hair. You can learn how to make money online. You can learn how to, you can have so much access to college information, or not even college information, but just things you want to learn. You could learn about through the internet. You could learn about biology. You could learn how to draw. You can learn about math. I used to be horrible at math, but now I'm getting better at it because I love watching videos about math. You can learn how to meditate. You can learn how to work out. You know what I'm saying? There's so much good things with the internet. I'm aware, like sometimes with the internet, they do give out false information when it comes to like spirituality, when it comes to world corruption and shit like that, because obviously the internet's man-made. Like where does all this information came from, right? Maybe the government or people behind the scenes, maybe they hide so much information from us. So you just never know. You know what I'm saying? But and don't overthink. You know I'm just saying shit just so because I'm bored. So like you don't have to take what I'm saying literally. I'm just saying some bullshit pretty much. But I'm just talking. This is why I'm making this video. But I'm speaking my mind. But yeah. Where was I? But yeah. But it's just weird that growing up, like I've dealt with like narcissistic people. I've dealt with like it's so pathetic how like you could be you could be not a nice person. You could be a cool person. I consider myself as a nice, cool person, right? I like to help people, but the problem is the people I'm around with, or just most people in general, they'll look at that and they'll try to fuck with you. Like they'll try to like overstep your boundaries. They'll try to mess with you. They'll try to bully you. But more so, they're projecting their shit onto you because if they see a person who's innocent, who's cool, who's loving, who has a good heart, people are so fucking stupid and they're so mentally ill, especially in today's timeline, that like they'll see that opportunity and they'll use the opportunity to scapegoat you or to project their bullshit onto you. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people experience this shit. It's fucked up. Shit, I was about to say something, but I forgot. Oh yeah, but yeah, like me, like I like helping people, I like being cool, but like there are times where I've experienced people who are like, and I get sensitive too. Like I get people bullshit. I'm not saying all the time because I do consider myself like I've experienced being manipulated, or like there are times where like I'm gullible and shit. Like you know what I'm saying, because I have a lot of trust in humans. Like growing up, like I didn't realize how sick people could be, and I'm still learning this today. The more I put myself out there in the world, you know, I still have like innocence. I still have, and it's good to have your innocence. But I'm just saying, like, there are times when I'll be too innocent, or like I have like those rose-colored eyeglasses, and I actually think that people who used to have the same heart as me, or they'll think like me, but people aren't like that. Like I feel like, cause like instead people would do the opposite. People would like use people. Like people actually use people for money. People actually take advantage of someone's kindness. People actually project their bullshit onto them, and they'll keep on doing it, and they want them to stay with them. They want to keep in contact with them only so they can project their shit onto you, subconsciously and unconsciously. So they don't even have to be aware of doing it, but yet they'll still do it. Like people are that dumb, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'm just saying like, damn, man, you know what I'm saying? But at least I'm aware of karma. At least I'm trying my best to like treat people how I want to be treated. You know what I'm saying? But there are times where I've done people wrong. There are times where like I said things I regretted. I've done things I regretted. But the most important thing is to learn from it and to grow from it and to heal from it. You know what I'm saying? So you won't do it again, or like, so you can self-reflect, become a better human being. Like there's a saying, treat people how you need to be treated. I love that saying so much because I stand by it. Treat people how you need to be treated. But not only that, but it feels good to be positive. It feels good to be nice. And I don't mean being nice and positive in a fake way where like you're just like you have an agenda, or like you're just doing it just so you can feed your ego. No, but it's just good to treat people with respect. You know what I'm saying? You're a human being. You know what other human beings go through. People go through shit. People go through hard times. People go through obstacles. Look at this world we live in. We have to do shit we don't want to do because of money. We're forced to do things we don't want to do because of money. We're forced to be around people we don't want to be around because of money. We all experience, and we're in the human body, so the human body feels a lot of pain. A lot of people experience mental health issues. A lot of people experience physical pain. They experience a lot of irregular nervous system pain. So like, the best you could do is treat another human being with kindness and respect, because they're going through the same shit you're going through. It may look different. It may be different situations, but overall they're experiencing the same shit you could be experiencing, if not worse. You know what I'm saying? So like, It's always good to treat people with respect sometimes. And no, I don't mean be like a kiss ass or a people pleaser or forcing yourself to do that. No, I'm just saying like there's you shouldn't give people a shit for no reason. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. I'm just talking. But unless of course they piss you off or like they're overstepping your boundaries, like they're trying you some way, then yeah, I feel like it is okay to defend yourself and to fight them back pretty much. But what I am saying is this. So yeah, so I be reflecting, man. Like just people, like they're just fucking horrible. People are pieces of shit, man. And there's nothing wrong with being nice. There's nothing wrong with people pleasing. The only problem with that is the fact that we have so much retarded people mentally. They're so dysfunctional that unfortunately, you can at times you're gonna have to have what's the word, like tough skin, and to like say no and to have strong boundaries, because people unfortunately I hate it so much. It sucks. This is how it is. But like since they see that you're kind and you have a good heart, unfortunately people are gonna take advantage of that. If you offer them money for one time just so you can help them out, don't be surprised if that same person is constantly going to ask you for money over and over and over again. Even though they have family members, they have friends, they have other connections to where like they could borrow that money from. But instead, they'll ask you only for the sole purpose because they know they could take advantage of you because you always say yes and you always be available. That's what I'm getting at. And people actually do think like this. That's how fucking dumb they are. And they'll come up with excuses on why they need money. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, just people are just selfish, man. Like people ain't shit. And again, I blame the system, but more so I blame the people. Like use your common sense. Like why would you use another human being? Why would you take advantage of him? Are you that fucking sinister? And this is why like me at times like I don't believe in. I used to believe in karma, but I'm starting to doubt like karma actually exists because like if karma was a real thing, why is the world the way it is? You know, it's just the whole ideology of like these people who are spiritual when they talk about karma, they got it all fucked up, or like they don't know what they're talking about, or maybe I'm not understanding something, or maybe there's a lot of things I can't comprehend. You know, like this YouTuber, he mentioned that like the elites, the government, like they'll manipulate and make this world more corrupt because they're able to do it because they're aligned with the right energies and the people aren't aligned at all. So they have the spiritual justice to do what they could do without any consequences. Shout out to Chauncey one because he mentioned a thing like that. He did mention that. He mentioned like I don't know the exact words, but like he mentioned that like the government or like the elites or the people who control this whole world, this whole realm, they're aligned with certain energies to where like they're able to do the things they want to do because they're in the right alignment and they could get away with bullshit pretty much. So yeah, damn, I lost my train of thought. I forgot where I was getting at. Um, fuck, I forgot where I was gonna say. But anyways, fast forward. Damn it. So yeah, so it just sucks how like you can be nice, you can be cool, but people will take advantage of that because people are so sick mentally, and like, oh yeah, karma. I was talking about karma. So like, I don't get how like it just sucks, man. Like, I just feel like I feel like a lot of people done me wrong, and like I never seen them get their karma. I've never seen them get their karma. The only time where I'll hear about them getting their karma is when I have to book a tarot reading or if I'm watching tarot videos. And I used to do that. I used to book tarot readings. I used to watch a lot of tarot videos just to see if these people have gotten their karma, because they'll do me that wrong. And me, I have a Scorpio moon, Scorpio Mars, and I came from a dysfunctional family, so I develop a lot of trauma. So naturally, if someone does me wrong, it's gonna be a lot more triggering, and I tend to hold grudges like that. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm trying to release, but and I don't think it's that too, kind of, but more so like I like justice, like me, like I consider myself to have morals and integrity. So like and I love helping people and I love treating people with kindness and respect. So if people were to do me wrong, I'll take that to heart. I'll take it personal because it's like I would never do something like that to you. So why would you do that shit to me? And that shit really stings me. That shit really hurts me deep. That cuts me deep. And that's why I get so pissed off and I get so fucking angry. There are times where like I have to cuss people out, I have to defend myself because people they'll just keep crossing my boundaries or they keep trying me in some way. And me, I don't like confrontation. I don't like conflict like that. Like I'm a very cool person. But unfortunately a lot of people are mentally ill. They're so dysfunctional. So like there are times where I'd cuss people out. I'd even fight people. I'd defend myself through other family members and through people I keep meeting with at the workplace. You, you know what I'm saying? And like, I had to do what I had to do, you know. But I don't like doing it. But like, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do because people are just so fucking stupid. I'm not sure because of what they're raised, their upbringing, and I could go on and on with that because that deals with the generational curses. Like people constantly like, you got shitty parents, they produce kids. These shitty parents don't guide these kids the right way, and then these kids grow up to be very emotionally unintelligent and they lack self awareness, and then they'll go to the world and throw some bullshit towards people. So, you know what I'm saying? It's a constant cycle of bullshit, pretty much. And I blame society, I blame this world too, you know what I'm saying? But it's how it is. Because this world's so restricted by money. People can't do shit they want to do. They can't. And it drives people crazy, and a lot of people suffer because of money corruption, right? But this is how it is. But yeah, you know, sometimes it does feel lonely, because it's like, damn, these people done me so wrong. Like, will they ever, like, will I ever get my justice? Does my higher self see this? Does my spirit see this? You know, so sometimes like me, I'm the type of person, and I like the idea where it's someone to do you wrong, you just take the high road out, you just take the highway out, and you just mind your own business. Me, I used to be that person. But at times where like, if someone were to do me wrong, you know, I think sometimes it's not all the time, but most of the times I feel like it's best to give that person the same energy, because I'll look back and like, there are times where someone would do me wrong, and then when I give them that same energy, I'll feel a lot better. You know what I'm saying? But the only thing that sucks about it though, like, and I understand it's all about how you go about it. Because me, I tend to overdo it. But like for example, like at the workplace, right? Like I had this one guy at the workplace. Like he wasn't my boss, but like he was the boss of the other company of where I work at, right? And he would constantly mad dog me. No, he wouldn't mad dog, but he would constantly stare at me. He would constantly look at me just so he could play a lot of mind games, so he could like steal my energy, just weird shit. I know it's weird, right? Just I know it sounds weird, just weird shit like that. Imagine how I was thinking, like a grown ass fucking adult, twice my age, twice my height. So, like he'll fucking constantly stare at me, constantly like gossip about me, talk to other people about me. I'm like, what the fuck is this problem? And he'll do that shit for like years, for months. I'm like, what the fuck? And like there are times where I was just fed up, so after work, I came to his workplace. I cussed him out. I was all up in his face. I was ready to fight him. Like I was threatening him and shit. And like I said a lot of hurtful shit towards him. I was all up in his face. I was yelling at him, and all that was reaction abuse. By the way, reaction abuse. If you're not familiar with reaction abuse, is when someone constantly pushes your buttons and you're fed up, and then you just explode. And like you kind of like black out and you just explode. But yet, and even though you are the victim, people around you, they won't believe that you're the victim. They'll think the other person who's been abusing you, they think they're the victim, because from these other people's perspectives, they see you exploding at that one person. And a lot of people experience that. A lot of people go to jail for that. It's fucking crazy. This is where you get your narcissistic abuse from, your covert narcissism. And I've experienced that a lot through family members. I've experienced a lot through the workplace. So this shit runs deep. But you just live and you learn. And this is why I mentioned. This is why sometimes it's best to like set boundaries from the jump. I don't like doing it. I feel like you shouldn't be in a position where like people have to set boundaries from the jump. But in this timeline we're in, since people are so mentally dysfunctional, so mentally fucked up, if you spot or peep some bullshit, let it be known. Let it be known ASAP. You know, I'm not saying you don't have to be like confrontational or angry, but like definitely let it be known, because unfortunately people are like fucking animals and they're so barbaric and stupid. So if they think they could get away with some bullshit, they're going to do it again. It's going to get worse over time. And some people are very like slick and covert, so like they'll do shit that's harmful to you. Like when it comes to like, it could be mentally abusing you, taking from you, taking your finances, using you. They'll do that shit in a very covert way without you realizing it until the last minute. So you gotta be careful with people like that. But yeah, but fast forward, I was cussing out that boss, and then I felt good. I felt like I defended myself. I felt like I experienced a lot of justice. And even before that, I was like I was talking to other coworkers about the situation. I was talking to my family members. I was talking to security at the workplace, and none of them did shit. They didn't do shit, and that's why I was so fed up. So I was like, "Fuck this shit. Let me handle this shit." I felt good doing it. I felt good harming them, but at least verbally, I didn't get to fight him. I wanted to fight him. I wanted him to hit me first, so I have the right to hit him because I didn't want to go to jail at the time because I know what I'm capable of doing. Me, I've never been in jail, but like I'm aware that like if I were to lay hands on him first, it would probably wouldn't have been bad because I probably would have gotten in trouble. And I was trying to join the military at the time, so like I was trying to stay out of trouble. Um, I'll talk about it in a different video, but like while I was in the process of trying to join the military, like I was trying to stay out of trouble because I was dealing with dysfunctional family members that would constantly kick me out the house, and the cops were always involved and stuff like that. Like it was pretty bad, and now I'm dealing with like narcissistic abuse at the workplace, and like yeah, like I really wanted to fight him, and like my mind was like, yo, I gotta chill because even though like some like there are times where I had to call the police so many times, and my family members would call the police on me, even though I didn't do anything. I was defending myself. Like they'll narcissistic people, they'll use your reaction to abuse against you, and that's what kind of fucked me up. Because, and this is where you get your like spiritual warfare from. Because when you're dealing with people who are narcissistic, who have a lot of covert narcissism, um, they're you don't have to believe what I believe in, but I've learned from other spiritual channels and videos and YouTubers that like when you're dealing with like narcissists or like manipulation, they're pretty much possessed by a demon or demonic spirit. So that's why they're so like tactical, they're so intelligent when they manipulate you or when they try to turn other people against you because they're possessed by a demon because you have like the Jezebel spirit and like shout out to New My Frame because New My Frame on her channel, she mentioned the Jezebel spirit. She mentions spiritual warfare. She mentions how narcissistic people operate. And shout out to her. She mentioned shit like that. My Frame is the first channels that where I got this information from, and it made sense. And once I learned this information, that's why it's easy for me to peep bullshit, to peep people's demonic behavior. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I could recognize it from the jump because, like I said, I'm still gullible. I'm still like have innocence. So, like I still, it's so easy for me to be tricked sometimes, and that deals with the lack of trust within myself. So I gotta learn how to develop a trust within myself. So I gotta use better. So I can learn how to use better discernment as time goes on, and that involves a lot of healing work. You know what I'm saying? And confidence. But yeah. So by the time I was trying to join the military, but like, and if you try to join the military, they're very strict. So like, you can't have any like background information. I mean, it's easy, but you just don't want to like you can't join, but like it's gonna make the process a lot harder. And I was trying to get away from my situation. So like, the last thing I want to do is get in trouble with the police or the cops or with the law because over some demonic, narcissistic people, right? And like I don't want my process to join the military to take so much longer because I was already struggling to join the military because like in order for you to join the military, you got to pass this test called ASVAB, right? It took me 4 tries or 5 tries to pass the test, but over that period of time, it took me about 2 or 3 years. No, probably like 2 to 4 years to try to join. So it took me a long ass time just to join. You know what I'm saying? So like I didn't want to risk any of that shit. So yeah, so when I cussed out that boss, right? I knew like, okay, I could cuss him out, but like I don't want to lay hands on him. Even though I really wanted to, I really don't want to do it. So the only time I'm gonna lay hands on him is when he's gonna lay his hands on me, which he didn't. He did go all up in my personal space, but he didn't lay any hands on me. And thank God, looking back, thank God, and not because like I was scared of him. Even though he was twice my size, I really wanted to fight him. I didn't mind that, but more so like if we were both to fight, it probably would end up pretty bad. Whether he would get damaged or I'll get damaged or like both of us would get damaged, and like it probably wouldn't look good on my record. So like, you know what I'm saying? But so yeah, so after I argued with him, after I was like verbally just verbally attacking him and shit. Long story short, I got suspended from my job for like a year, and by then I was jobless. I didn't have any money, so like, and then I was stuck in my family's household. So that shit really sucked, you know what I'm saying? And then I was dealing with like family conflicts and fights. So like I was like, oh my god. And then I got kicked out of the house. The cops were involved. So then I was living at my grandma's house. And I kept studying for the test. And now I'm in the military. And now I'm here pretty much. So I'll mention that in a different video. But like, so it was hard. But that's what I'm getting at. And again, I'm not saying I'm perfect. Um, and I'm not saying too like if with anyone in your life, if if people make mistakes, no one's perfect. You shouldn't have high expectations towards people because this is unrealistic. You can have boundaries, but not expectations. And at times, I do struggle with this, where if someone were to do you wrong or like they'll hurt your feelings, sometimes people do it without them even being aware of it, or like they're not realizing what they're doing. Or for some people, they may find it funny, but with other people, they may not find it funny. So it's not personal either. So what I'm saying is, if someone were to do something wrong or like against your beliefs, don't think that oh they're narcissists. Like oh you should cut them off. Oh you should block them or you should unfriend them. No no no. Like if people make mistakes, people have good intentions. Sometimes they're not aware of what they're doing. Me I do this too at times. There are times where like my intentions are good when coming to connections, but there are times where like I'll do things or I'll say things that will accidentally hurt the person or like accidentally harm the person by accident without me even realizing it. And so when it comes to connections, don't be too like nitpicky or strict like that because me I used to struggle with that, but you know what I'm saying. So just learn how to not take things as personal, especially because when you experience a lot of like abuse or like dysfunctional behavior from people, you tend to be more hyper vigilant and more like over reactive. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like if you're very spiritual, you can read energy. I feel like that could work in your favor as well too. But you just gotta use discernment. You know what I'm saying? But so just keep that in mind. But yeah, basically the moral of the story of this video is to like treat people how you want to be treated. You never know what people are going through. And just know that you're not alone if you are experiencing people mistreating you or like people constantly taking advantage of you in some way. Just know that you're not alone. And I know how draining it is to constantly like defend yourself, to constantly like um, be on guard with people because a lot of people just in this timeline, people are just, and again, I'm not saying I'm perfect. There are a lot of things I need to heal. There are things where like I regret doing still to this day that I'm trying to work at. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but what I'm saying is that like just know that you're not alone if you're experiencing just mistreatment from people. You know what I'm saying? You're not alone, and it gets too much. It is okay to keep your distance. It is okay to focus on yourself, and I feel like the more you focus on yourself, the more you're on the right path. Your life will definitely see that, and life will definitely put you around the right types of people, and they'll create better situations for you to get out of your situation that's harming you pretty much. But yeah, it does get annoying. Especially when you're like people pleasing, when trying to be nice. Unfortunately, people do take advantage of that, and it gets draining. So you gotta be careful when people do it, and don't be surprised what adults are capable of doing. You know what I'm saying? but um, but yeah, it's just crazy. But it's just insane how like narcissistic people and how manipulative people. It's so crazy how much they could get away with. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I've seen Twitter threads and stories and like YouTube videos of people talking about like their narcissistic mother or like their dysfunctional mother and how much their mother is able to get away with so much shit because they're the mother and no one would think that like they'll like get away with shit like they're like no one would think like they're that sinister that they're that evil or two-faced because that's their mother, so automatically mothers have a good reputation even though they haven't proven to do so. So like if people experience toxic mothers, people experience narcissistic mothers, you know what I'm saying? um, so like it's just crazy how much like it's just crazy how like how much narcissism and evil shit people would do and like they'll get away with. I believe in karma. I believe in karma, but I don't believe in karma. I do believe in karma where like if you continuing to do bad upon other people, you will get exposed or like you will have that same energy thrown back to you. If not in this lifetime, more than likely in the afterlife. You know what I'm saying? And this is where you get your past life karma from. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it just sucks when like someone would do you wrong and you can't see them get their karma, and now you're forced to do the healing work. You're forced to let go of that ego. You know what I'm saying? This shit's not easy. I struggle with this a lot, but this is why when people do you wrong, try to do the best you can to heal yourself. If it gets too much, seek professional help. If you don't trust in professionals like that, then try to pursue things you love. Try to release your anger and your rage. And shout out to New My Frame, because she did mention stuff like that. When you feel so angry, or when you have a lot of pent up emotions, try to release it through through your artwork. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to New My Frame for mentioning that, because she's right. You know, so just do the best you can to release all that anger. You can try working out, you can try running, you can try screaming, yelling, crying. Release these emotions. Even with Chauncey, like check out Chauncey one. He mentioned that the importance of yoga stretches and fasting, because that also releases a lot of anger. You know what I'm saying? Not just short term stretches, but like long periods of stretching for each body part. That's a yoga stretch for like 5 to 10 minutes per body part. And if you keep on doing it over time while fasting and doing spiritual practices like meditations, gradually, slowly but gradually, you're gonna release all these pent up emotions and stuff. This is why when you stretch, you feel a lot more better, right? But that's all I gotta say. I'm just wanna get all this out. But I'm speaking my mind. And have a good one. Like, comment, subscribe, man. Good luck to you. Peace.